Hello students, how are you? So let's do revision for 6th standard science subject. Students, we will see topics in this video that are mind maps and revision of the lessons which are coming for periodic test 2, that are components of food, separation of substances, chapter number 10 motion and measurement of distances, chapter 11 light, shadows and reflection, and chapter 14 water. Students, we will see chapter number 2 components of food. So students, we know it very well that food is very important part for living organism. Food gives energy and it protects us from many diseases. Then it maintains good eyesight and it is important for health, growth and development. Then after that we will see different type of nutrients are there, that are carbohydrates, proteins, fat, vitamins and minerals. So carbohydrates, example you can see sweet potato. Protein you can see eggs, fats, butter, cheese. Then dietary fibers are also important part, because dietary fibers, some examples are whole wheat bread, oat, etc. So starch is present in cereal flour, and these are called macronutrients. And the micronutrients means what? It requires in very small amount for our body. We will see that vitamins, example papaya and strawberries, and minerals are present in nuts and lentils. So these are some examples in which vitamins and minerals are present. So these are essential components: carbohydrates, protein, fats, vitamins and minerals. Along with that, students, water is also an important part. So water also helps to remove undigested liquid part, not undigested, but it helps to remove liquid waste from the body in the form of urine and sweat. After that, we can see our body need all these nutrients, and a diet containing adequate means proper amount of nutrients. Which are that nutrients? Carbohydrates, protein, fats, vitamins and minerals, along with that dietary fibers and water also. So these are necessary for healthy body, and this is called balanced diet. And if we are not eating adequate or proper amount of these nutrients, so our body may lack from many nutrients if you are not eating for a long period of time. So it may causes diseases in our body. So deficiency diseases that are caused by a lack of proper nutrients. That's why it is advisable that you should eat all type of food in a diet. So some nutrients and diseases are given. Vitamin A, vitamin it is called. So night blindness, vitamin B1, beriberi, protein, kwashiorkor. So these are some nutrients and diseases causes because of that lacking of nutrients. And in our notes also, in your textbook also, everything is given in detail. This is whatever I am showing. This is a flow chart, or we can say mind map in short. So this is about components of food. Along with that, students, we are having test for starch. In that we can take food sample, and we can add iodine solution into that. So if we are getting blue black color, the starch is present in that given food sample. Taste for protein, if you want to take, so you can take food sample. For example, you can take milk, or you can take crushed tur dal. Then we can take caustic soda, copper sulfate solution, caustic soda solution, copper sulfate solution, and water. And the proper steps are given in textbook. Then after adding all these things, if we are observing blue black color, if we are observing violet color, then protein is present in that particular food sample. So and taste for fat. So for taste for fat, you can take a food sample on paper and crush that. For example, if you are taking groundnut, so if you are crushing that, then you can see oily patch on the paper. Let wet that paper in the sunlight. If water amount is present, moisture is present, so let it dry, and after that you can watch it in a light, so you can see that oily patch is there, so fats are present in the particular food sample. So these are some tests for protein, fats and starch. So components of food lesson is over here. Here you have to read all the lessons very carefully. Then you can read all the worksheets, solve all worksheets, then read all the notes and do study for chapter number 2. Students, now we will see chapter number 5, that is separation of substances. So over here you can see in the mind map, homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures are there. So we have seen in another videos also, previous videos, that is what is homogeneous and what is heterogeneous. Homo means uniform, same, and hetero means different. So homogeneous mixture means what? It is having uniform appearance and composition. For example, if you will take salt and water. Heterogeneous mixture means non-uniform appearance and composition. Now why do we need to separate the substances? To remove harmful components. For example, wheat and stones are mixed together, so we can separate that from the wheat, and we can get a proper particular substance which we can use, which we can consume. Now separate two different but useful components. For example, buttermilk and curd is there, cheese. We can separate, both are useful for us. Ghee is also useful for us and buttermilk is also useful for us. So for this purpose we are using separation techniques. Then there are different types of methods of separations are there. First we will say about hand picking method. As the name indicate, with the help of hand we can pick out the impurities. Method to separate the large size impurity by hand. As you can see it in the picture, that person is sorting out or taking out the unuseful or non-useful components from the grains. So that is hand picking method. In threshing method, that is a method to separate grains from husk. So this is a threshing method. We can separate the grains and the husk from each other. Then winnowing method, and during threshing method you can beat it strongly on the hard surface. Then the grains and the husk particles are dried, so they can be separated. Then winnowing method. In the winnowing method, students, method to separate heavier and lighter components by wind or blowing air. With the help of wind or blowing air, we can separate that heavier and lighter components. As the grains are heavier, so that can flow down on the ground, and the husk particles or the impurities or dust particles are being lighter, they can move away with the help of wind or air force. So that is a winnowing method. Now we will see sieving method. As sieving is name indicates, so we can use sieve for that. So method to separate impurities through a sieve. For example, wheat crystals, sugar crystals are there and wheat flour is there. If they are mixed together, we can separate by with the help of sieving method. Now you can see on the construction site some sand particles are there. So we need very fine sand particles for the construction. So we can separate that fine sand particles with a different kind of sieve. Depending upon the particle size, sieves are also different. So this is sieving method. After that we will see about sedimentation and decantation method. So if you sedimentation to separate heavier components by adding water to mixture. For example, sand and water is there. So sand can be separated and water can be separated by sedimentation and decantation method. Sedimentation means what? that heavier particles are settling down at the bottom, as you can see it in the figure. And decantation means what? Now water level is there, and we can see the separate means sand particles and water. We can separate it by slightly tilting that beaker, and we can collect that water into another beaker. So decantation to remove water and dust. We can remove that while cooking also. Or means at home you can see that if we are preparing dal, so we are washing that and dal is settling down at the bottom, and top water we can remove with the help of this decantation method. Then we can see filtration method. So method to separate impurities by using filtrate. For example, we can use filter paper. For that we can fold that, and cone like structure we can put it into the flask, and we can take muddy water and we can separate that. And after that we can add alum crystals to that water, and again we can filter that, so we can get a clean water. So this is a filtration method. Then evaporation and condensation method. So as you can see it in the picture, means with the help of that we can separate salt and seawater. Because of sunset, that water gets evaporated, and after that the salt is remaining behind. So with the help of heat, water vapors are coming out from the water bodies, that is evaporation. And condensation means that that vapors are converting into drops, that is a condensation. Then these are different methods. More than that, we can use separating funnel to separate liquids which are non-miscible, means which are immiscible with each other, means which cannot mix with each other. For example, oil, water and kerosene is there. So according to different densities, their level is different. So according to that we can remove the different layers with the help of separating funnel. It is having cork, and we can separate the oil and water, kerosene and water, oil and kerosene by the separating funnel. So these are different techniques or methods by which we can separate the substances. So this was about a separation of substances. Now we will see chapter number 10, motion and measurement of distances. In that we can see different transportation modes. Land, example bus, cycle. Air, that is aeroplane and helicopter. Then water, ship and boat. Then we have seen SI units. SI unit of length is meter, and 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. These are the measurements which are universally adopted. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter, and we have seen different conversions also. We have seen the numerical problems in the lesson. After the lesson is getting over, in exercise we have seen the different kinds of conversion. Kilometer to meter, meter to kilometer, then meter to centimeter, centimeter to millimeter. Then motion, the change in position of an object with respect to time, it is called motion. Some examples of rest are house, table, clock. And some examples of motion are a flying bird, second hand of clock, and motion of train. So these are the examples of a motion. Then afterwards we will see different types of motion. That is circular motion, that objects are motion along a circular path, it is called circular motion. Then periodic motion, the object motion repeats after a regular intervals of time, that is called a periodic motion. And non-periodic motion means object which does not repeat motion after a regular intervals of time, that is a non-periodic motion. Periodic motion example you can say pendulum of a wall clock, then formation of days and nights. And non-periodic motion means earthquake, tsunami. Circular motion example, rotation of the blades of the fan. Then rectilinear motion means what? The object moves in a straight line. So that motion is called rectilinear motion. For example, parade. If any person is walking in a straight line, that can be also example of rectilinear motion. Then oscillatory motion, then to and fro motion of an object, it is called oscillatory motion. For example, swing needle. So that is a motion of oscillatory motion. So these are some types of motion. Curvilinear motion means object moves in a curved path. For example, if suppose a ball is moving in a curved path, so that is curvilinear motion. A car is moving on a curved road, that is a curvilinear motion. And we have seen children different uses of these motions in a daily life. So this is about motion and measurement of distances. In this lesson we have seen numerical problems also. So this is about chapter number 10, motion and measurement of distances. Now we will see chapter number 11, light, shadows and reflection. So in this light, shadows and reflection, we have seen first definition of luminous object. Luminous object means which gives out their own light, that is called luminous object. For example, sun, tube light, so that are called sun, or you can say the objects which can give out their own light. For example, firefly or jugnu it is called. Then non-luminous object means reflect light from luminous objects, means that does not give light of their own, it is called non-luminous object. Then we will say about shadows and shadow formation. Dark area produced by an object not allowing light to pass through it, that is called a shadow. And opaque or translucent object make a shadow. Means we have seen different activities also for that in this lesson, that a shadow forms only on a screen. So opaque object, ray of light or the screen should be there, then only shadow can be formed. Then transparent object will not object, or they will not cast shadow because light will pass through it. Then afterward we have seen pinhole camera. That activity was there. Activity or procedure is given in the textbook, and by that way we can make a pinhole camera. So it is also based on the fact that light travels in a straight line. So activities also in this lesson, that light travels in a straight line. For that you have to take 3 candles and place the cardboards, make a hole in between that and place it on a same row. If you will disturb that, you will not see the next cardboards or candle. If you will disturb that, you cannot see that. And if you will keep all the holes of that cardboards in a same line, and if you can see the candle, and if you will disturb that, you are not able to see the candle. That shows that light always travels in a straight line. Or another activity is for that, you can take a straight pipe and you can observe the candle from the pipe from one end to another end. Then if you will bend that pipe, so you will not be able to see that pipe. That shows that light always travels in a straight line. Then we have seen that mirror and reflection. So meaning of mirror is reflect duplication of an object identical in shape but reversed in the direction, as you can see it in the picture. So this is about chapter number 11, light, shadows and reflection. We have seen different activities also for this lesson, that shadow is often only on a screen, light travels in a straight line, or the another name for light travels in a straight line is rectilinear propagation. So this is in this lesson. Now in this 14th lesson we have seen different sources of water, that is river, lakes, bore wells and wells. These are the different sources from which we can get water. Then we have seen the water cycle for in this lesson, and in this lesson the definitions or the process, that is evaporation, condensation, precipitation, transpiration, these are the important procedures in this water cycle. So circulation of water between ocean and land, it is called water cycle. And after that we have seen that if the rain is coming excessive, so excessive rain causes flood, and lacking of, or we can say deficiency in, we can say if it is in less amount for a long period, so it can cause drought, and it may affect on plants as well as animals as well as human beings life. Then after that we have seen techniques to conserve water. So we have seen the rainwater harvesting for that, and these are the techniques from which we can collect and store water for later use, that is called a rainwater harvesting. And two techniques we have seen over here, that is rooftop rainwater harvesting, means from the roof we can collect the water and through pipe connection we can leave that pipe in the ground. And another way, that is underground rainwater harvesting, that is you can all that water can go underground, and it can increase the level of the water. So we have seen different procedures in this water cycle as well as different technique in rainwater harvesting. So this is about chapter number 14, water. Students, in short, I tried to explain all the topics. We have seen all the videos related to all these lessons, chapter number 2, 5, 10, 11 and 14. So please revise all the topics, read all lessons from the textbook, and solve worksheets, solve revision worksheet. Revision worksheet you can solve by setting a time, so that you can understand within which time you can solve the paper. So thank you for watching video, and please start study, and read the book very carefully, read each and every topic. We have to improve our quality as well as quantity. So thank you for watching video, students.